This is a story about courage and tension, and how when you allow yourself to show up courageously with courage, intention, beautiful things happen. Now, this story takes place of when I was in the Romanian week-long workshop with Brian, and we were out. Workshop had finished, and we were out doing our rounds, meaning that we were going out, we were doing our stops, and I had a coach with me, awesome dude, and we were walking around the city center in Bucharest. If you've ever been, it's a huge circle, bunch of restaurants, a bunch of shops, bunch of people, bunch of tourists, and in that circle, I happened to lock eyes with a girl. And I said something to her, I forget what it was, but it was that feeling of I knew this girl before I knew her, and she felt the same way, so we just started chatting it up. And she's like, well, I gotta go, I'm with my mom, and her and her mom started to walk off. And the coach that I was with was very, very, very observant, and he said, did you see that? And I said, what? He's like, she likes you. And I said, yeah, I saw that. He said, okay, so we're gonna go around the circle again, and when we do run into her, you're going to go talk to her. And I remember thinking, fuck this guy. And I remember thinking, I hate this guy, because he was holding me accountable and I did not like it. I did not want to step into that tension. Now here was the tension. Was that I liked this girl. I thought she was very beautiful, but she was with her mom. And not only was she with her mom, we later found out as we started to get back around the other side of the circle that her and her mom decided to sit down at an outdoor restaurant which had probably, I kid you not, about 60 or 70 people sitting around them. And it was nerve-wracking, because the minute we made it around to the entrance of that restaurant, he spotted them and he said, okay, there she goes. Now you're just gonna go right in there and you're just gonna talk to her. And I had so much fear and anxiety come up, so much. And I stood there for a second and I paused. And I kid you not, I must have stood there for like 5 minutes, and he did not budge. He was like, you're gonna go do this. Trust me. Just go do it. You're going to feel better after. And I was like, I didn't want to hear that. All I was thinking about was how I was going to have all these eyes on me, everybody judging me, looking at me. What made this whole thing even worse was that there are not many black people in Bucharest. Like, maybe I saw 2 on this whole trip, and I was there for about a week. So I knew I stood out, and I did not like that. It just added to the tension and to the fear. So I stood there for about 5 minutes. He was grounding me out, but he was making sure that I went and did what we said I was going to do. So I started taking steps in that direction. I had a fuck it moment. And if you've ever done approaching, you've ever done some approaching with a person that completely terrifies you, you know what a fuck it moment is. It's that moment where you completely surrender and just show up and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna just see what happens. So my feet start moving, and I pass the hostess and they greet me, and I say, no, I'm going in there to talk to this girl. And so I get inside the patio of the restaurant, and I see her. And I get closer to her, and I lock eyes with her. She sees me, and her mom is there. And so I walk over and I say, hey, excuse me, I would love to take your daughter out. And she didn't speak English, and so the girl had to translate. So she translated, and she was like, talking with her mom for a couple seconds, And I'm just standing there like, what's going on? And the girl says to me that, okay, she says you can have me for an hour, but you have to bring me back. And in that moment, man, I felt so much relief. There was so much relief that came from that moment, because not only did I stand up to the challenge, I got the reward from it. And when me and her went to go hang out, it was just an awesome time, a great time, really great chemistry. And I kept my word. I brought her back in an hour. But after that interaction had ended, the whole thing, man, I felt so much greater. I felt so much more light on my feet, at ease, confident. Almost like I was in a flow state where nothing could stop me. And when I went back to the workshop the next day, man, I had a story to tell. So again, this is a story of courage and intention. When you guys are out approaching, you guys are going to find yourself in this situation where it's a fight or flight situation. And if you flight and leave, you will never know the power that you possess and the outcomes that you can have when you show up. But when you fight and then you show up, you learn so much about the world and how it operates. I hope this encourages you to go out today and talk to some beautiful women, with their moms, not with their moms, with their dads, not with their dads, in a group of other people. Step up to the challenge. It's going to grow your masculine, I guarantee you. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this bonus video, and I will see you guys in the next video.